everyone and welcome back to my channel. How you doing? In today's video I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I know, something slightly different. I've never done a Q&A on my channel before and I just really felt like doing one, so there it is. I asked people on Instagram just to throw me some questions for my video, and I got quite a few in. I say quite a few, I think there's actually like 20. Obviously I'm not going to answer every single one just because that's a lot and I talk a lot, so no one wants to hear all of them. But I'll pick out, I guess, some of my favourite questions and I will answer them for you. So yeah, let's just jump straight in. Would you rather have lips for eyelids or eyelids for lips? Let's think about this in the most logical way possible. Lips for eyelids. So would my eyeball be in the centre of my mouth? Like, would the lips be around my eye? Or would it be like the lips on the top eyelid? So it must be the lips are just on the top, right? Gross. I think I would rather have eyelids for lips, because if my lips were my eyelids, then I could just get rid of the lashes and then I could just put lipstick or like something on to cover up the fact that they might look a bit weird. No? I think that makes the most sense. Next question is, what are my top 5 favourite films? Honestly, this is a quite hard question for me. My all-time favourite movie, well, technically my all-time favourite movie franchise is Marvel. Like anything Marvel related, that's my favourite. So if I had to say my top 5, my top 3 movies from Marvel, because not all of my favourite films are Marvel based. So my top 3, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Endgame, Iron Man, number 1, the first Iron Man. Then probably Step Brothers. I really like that film. I've watched it 100 times probably. And then my number 5 would be Hercules, the animated Disney version, because it is an amazing film. Probably my favourite Disney film of all time. I've got a lovely question from my sister Courtney. Why do you smell like shit? Love or money? It's a great question. I would say love, because at the end of the day, money can buy you many things, but it can't buy, I mean, it can buy you love. Yeah, it can't buy like real love. So I would always say love, because it's like the most precious thing in the world, isn't it, really? And I would say without love, what is life? Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't, I don't think you can live a good life if you don't have some aspects of love in it. So for me, I would say love over money. Who would I want to play me in the film of my life? In all honesty, myself. If I was an actress, I would play myself in the movie of my own life, because I just feel like I'm the best person to play myself, because I know myself and I know all my emotions and I know everything about myself. So I would be the best person to play me, because I'm living my own life. And then if I couldn't play myself, I would want Viola Davis to play me, or Angela Bassett, because I just feel like they're just so good. They are. And I feel like they would just be able to portray every single emotion that I've ever felt so perfectly. 2 names on my baby name list. So 2 girl names that are on my list are Olani, like Olani. I think it's a beautiful name. And Zora. I don't know why. Well, Zora is from, if you've ever watched Us, that is the daughter's name in that film. And I just thought that name was so nice. I don't know why. It's different. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone being called Zora before. It does kind of sound like Zorro, but it's not Zorro, it's Zora. So, and then 2 boy names. I really like the name Zion. It's quite, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people have probably called their kids that though. And I don't want to call my kids something that have already been called, like they're already someone else's name. Which obviously that's impossible. Like, there's no way that you can call someone that much of a unique name unless you're like Elon Musk and you've called your kid fucking and I also really love the name Franklin. I don't know why. It reminds me of an old man. So those would be my two boys. Or I really like the name Neo for a boy as well. Kind of like the singer, but not. I don't associate the name with the singer. I associate it with Neo from The Matrix. Still a weird concept, I guess, but I just think it's a cool name, like Neo. What are my top 4 places to shop? So, obviously number 1 is ASOS. Duh. It's the best, for me personally, online-wise, it is one of the best places that you can go to buy almost everything. They have whatever you could possibly want on there. Right now during lockdown, it's not a good time to shop though, I must say. They're selling out of everything so quickly, it's upsetting me. But yeah, number 1 would be ASOS. Number 2 would be Pretty Little Thing. They've got your basics. I guess we'll go for PLT. Number 3 would probably be Misguided. They have a lot of nice stuff on there. Again, it's reasonably priced. Can't really go wrong. It wouldn't be my first place to go to though. It just wouldn't, because it's very hit and miss. So, you know. But then number 4 would be Shein. I just ordered some stuff from there, and literally earlier on today, all of the stuff came. It came in like 2 different deliveries, which I thought was really weird. But the second half of my delivery just arrived. So I'm going to be doing a haul of that soon so you guys can see. But they have some really amazing stuff on their website, like genuinely like really amazing stuff. Really, really cheap as well. Like you could literally go on PLT, find a really cute dress. And then if you went on to Shein, you could probably find the exact same dress for half the price. I would recommend. If no one's looked at it, go and look. You'll find some beautiful pieces. However, do not expect your delivery to come for at least 3 weeks, because that's how long mine took to get here. Would you rather always be hungry or always be thirsty? To be honest, I think I would rather always be thirsty, because my logic here is there are some foods that like give you like water, like watermelon, like basically most fruits, to be honest, you get water from those things, so you wouldn't technically be that thirsty. And I couldn't live without food. I just couldn't. Being hungry is the worst feeling in the world. It's so much, it gives you just this horrible pain. I couldn't live like that. So I would rather always be thirsty, knowing that I could get my thirst quenched from a delicious piece of fruit. Next question is, who would I say are my favourite YouTubers? In all honesty, I don't really have like a specific like, this is my favourite YouTuber, these are, like, I just don't, because I watch so many different types of YouTube videos and people all the time, so it's hard to pinpoint just one or like a small number of people who I'd say my favourite. There are a lot of people that I like watching at one specific time. Like I'll go through different time periods where I'll watch one person literally all the time, and then I won't watch them for a bit and I'll watch someone else. So it depends. But I would say the people that right now I'm watching the most are Carmen King. She would be my number 1. She's amazing. To be honest, I watch her videos all the time. She's someone who I'd never get bored of watching. She is amazing, and she makes like sim videos and like IMVU stuff, and she does just really funny, quite incredible videos, to be honest. I love her. Another person is Bailey Sarian. She does like murder mystery videos while she does her makeup, and I think they are just so bloody amazing. I love her. She posts every Monday like a different murder mystery video, and I'm waiting for the next one because today is Monday, so I'm very excited about that. Who else do I like watching? Sometimes I'll just start watching random videos and then I look at their channel and I'm like, wow, these are so sick. Oh, Nash Greer. I've recently just started watching him again because me and my friend Abby are basically obsessed with his son. So I've been really enjoying watching his vlogs recently. His little family is just so friggin' adorable. I love them. And yeah, anything sort of crime, murder related, I'm always a fan of. Cameron asked me a great question. Who is my favourite Marvel character? To be honest, it's kind of a toss-up between 2 amazing men in the MCU universe. So it would be either Iron Man, and then the other person would be Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, aka the baddest bitch in the galaxy. The next question is, where is the first place I'm going to go to after the quarantine, after lockdown is over? One word. I'm going to the club. And then after that, I'm going out to restaurants. Basically every single day I'm going out to eat. What is my worst fear? My worst fear, to be honest, in general, like my biggest fear is dying. I've always had a fear of dying. It is literally the circle of life. Like that is just a natural part of life. But the thought of dying to me genuinely stresses me out. I've literally in the past had like actual panic attacks about it. Because I'm crazy. But yeah, no, dying is definitely my worst, biggest fear overall. Like if you actually sit down and think about it, because for me, I'm not a religious person, so I don't believe in an afterlife. I don't believe in anything. So for me, once I die, I'm just dead. And I just think to myself, like, that is just such a scary prospect. Like, imagine you're just dead and like the world is just turning around you. Like, what if no one will remember you? Oh, getting palpitations just thinking about it. It really stresses me out. My other worst fear is small confined spaces. I'm really claustrophobic. I always have been. I just don't like it. I don't like being restricted or held down. I don't like being stuck in somewhere small. I remember back in junior school, we had to go to Dell Farm for the day. We didn't have to, but we went to Dell Farm. And there was this like maze that you had to do, but it was in the dark. And I was like the biggest pussy when I was younger. Still am now, because not much has changed. But I was so much worse then. And we had to do this maze in the dark. And I was genuinely panicking, so scared. We had to go through this tunnel. It's just like a tube tunnel thing. And when I was crawling through it, I felt so suffocated. I literally could have passed out there and then. It really, really stresses me out. I don't like it when I'm in bed and the covers are strapped around me and I can't get out. I don't like being in big, overly crowded spaces and I'm so stuck in the middle. I just don't like being confined. I hate that feeling. I feel like I'm literally going to explode. Like my whole body is literally so hot. Just the thought of it, it's just not. No. Okay, this is actually a really good question. If I could be one thing when I'm older, what would it be? Do you know what's really weird? A couple years ago, I really wanted to be a drama teacher. Can you imagine me in a school? Anyone who knows me knows that I fucking hated school more than anything. I was the most miserable school kid ever. I hated it so much. Imagine me going back to teach those kind of people. But if I could be anything, it would be, I would be a stylist, but like for really amazing events. Like, you know how like the Met Gala, I would design people's Met Gala outfits. That would be my dream job. That would be what I would want to be. Obviously that's not realistic because I'm not a designer. I know nothing about design whatsoever, but you know, hypothetically speaking, if I did, that would be what I'd be doing. The next question is, where do I see my YouTube channel going? You know what, I actually don't know. I really don't know. It's so weird because when I first started my channel, I had no intention of ever seeing myself like doing it to be famous. That wasn't what I wanted, and it still isn't what I want. Like, I know there's some people who see YouTube as like a get rich quick situation, and like if that's what you want to do, like that's actually really good for you, because if it works, that's amazing. But for me, I upload videos if and when I want to, because I want to, not because I want to. There's no like other motive behind it. I upload videos because I watch YouTube all the time. I've been obsessed with YouTube since I was like, I don't even know. I just do it because I enjoy it. And I feel like it gives people like an outlet. Is that the word I'm thinking of? Maybe I'm lying to myself. I don't really know. But I watch YouTube when I'm sad to make myself feel better. So for me, I would want my channel to be something like that for someone else. Like, that's what I would want my channel to be. I would want it to be like a happy, positive space for other people to just come and watch my videos, I guess. That's what I want my channel to be. That's where I want it to go. That is what I want the future of my channel to be. Just a positive and happy space for everyone. The next question is kind of a deep one. Do you think social media has corrupted the world? In all honesty, yes and no. I feel like everyone could probably agree with that, because obviously in some ways it's so good, because without social media we really wouldn't be living how we are right now. Like, we can connect with so many different people, you know, there's so many jobs that have come from social media, so many opportunities. Like, there's this whole different world online, and it's amazing. But then on the flip side of that, like, it can be a very negative place. Do you know what I mean? Like, with like online bullying, with hate, cancel culture, just like lots of different aspects, and it puts a very negative cloud over the situation. And like, I feel like certain platforms can create a lot of insecurities. So like Instagram, for example, everyone wants to look perfect all the time, and you only post like the best pictures you possibly can. You edit your photos, like you face tune them so you look completely flawless and so different. And I feel like in a way nothing on social media is real, because 9 times out of 10 we only ever post the stuff we want people to see. We only post like the really good stuff, whereas that's not real life. So it creates like this false perception in everyone's heads that your life has to be perfect. You have to have these new clothes and have the newest shoes, the newest phone, the newest this, blah, 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 when that's not real life. So I would say that even though it is a really good thing and it's helped and like people benefit from it all the time, it brings a lot of just negative energy sometimes that we don't really need in our lives. And like, we're so connected and like attached to our phones now, like we can't put it down for 5 minutes without feeling like lost, which I just think is a really it can be really damaging. Our whole life is in our phone, when that's not really how it should be. Our whole life should be like what's around us. But then I also say this, but then I think I wouldn't be able to upload videos if it wasn't for social media. You know, I don't know, it's a very tricky, it's like a double-edged sword, I guess, because on one hand it's good, but then it also, even though it's good, it still brings negative, and it's yeah, it's a lot. The next question is, what is your advice for someone getting into the gym? Now, in all honesty, I wouldn't take my own advice, because I'm not really someone who should be giving advice on the gym. But number one, it helps if you have someone to go with, like when you're first starting to go, because I feel like the gym is actually the scariest place in the world. It's actually so daunting to walk into a gym full of like these buff, huge, not even, some of them aren't even like that, but like you see all these people working out and they're lifting heavy weights, and you're like this little tiny person who's like barely even squatting the bar. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very daunting. So sometimes it helps to have someone to go with, just so you guys can start to, you know, find your feet, and you're like, you know, you're getting used to the equipment and blah, blah, blah. I think that really does help. I would say the second thing is maybe go like with some sort of program, or like write out what you want to do for that session. So there's loads of people, like there's programs online, like 4-week or an 8-week program that you can follow, or just write out what you want to do for the day on your notes or something, just so that you have like a clear plan of what you want to do, because I feel like sometimes if you don't, it can just be really stressful. And then I would also say, give yourself a goal. Like, set yourself out a very clear, I would say achievable, and not easy, but like it should be achievable, but once you've achieved it, you should be able to then keep on going, because then it gives you something to work towards. And I also think it should be realistic, because you don't want to set yourself a goal that's like so far-fetched that you go and you're like, well, I'm not seeing results, and then you stop going. Yeah, set yourself a goal that you're actually going to achieve, and then you can keep working towards it. Because I know when I first started going to the gym, my goals were not unachievable, but they're not something that you see straight away, which is what everyone wants when they go to the gym. You want to see instant results. It's not possible. And the final thing I would say is be consistent. You have to be consistent. Like, you can't go for a week and then go on like 5 nights out and eat shit and then expect to be like, well, I went to the gym, so it should work, because it won't. I would just say, find a partner who you can go with, maybe find a program, be consistent, set a good goal. Okay, so the final question that I have is, how do I edit my Instagram pictures? And let me tell you, getting a good Instagram picture is actually the hardest thing in the world. When it comes to editing my pictures, I use 1 or 2 apps. It depends on the picture. Like, it depends, I guess, on the vibe I'm going for, because some pictures I don't really want to edit too much, and then other ones I want them to be like super edited. But I don't ever like face tune my pictures. I don't blur out my spots or anything like that. I just edit like the colors, I guess you could say. So the first app that I use is Visco. It's a free app, you don't have to pay for it. And basically I use this app like all the time when I'm gonna upload an Instagram picture. So what I'll do, so I'll find a picture that I like, or I'll decide whichever ones I like. I'll add it to the gallery, and then I like to adjust the exposure and the brightness just a little bit. I just like it to look really bright, because I just feel like it adds more of that like sunshine look, like the sun is on me. And then after that, I like to increase the temperature just a little, because I like my pictures to be quite warm. But I feel like whenever it's like spring and it's warm out, I feel like the temperature for me, I like it to just be a little bit warmer, just so it looks a bit more sunny, I guess. So I'll normally take that up a little bit, and then once I'm happy with that, I then adjust the grain of my pictures. I like a little bit of grain. What can I say? It depends on the picture, but if it's for an Instagram picture, I normally take the grain up to like 2 or 3, or somewhere in between, just so it's got like a nice amount of grain and it's not too much. If it's not an Instagram picture and I just want to add the grain, I normally take the grain all the way up to the very highest number, just because it adds a cool effect. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't like to add too much grain for Instagram pictures, because Instagram like really ruins the quality of your photos. And sometimes if the grain's too strong, the picture just looks weird and shit. That's what I do on Visco. And then if I want to add like a cool effect, or like, I don't know, something different, I use the app Prequel, which I think is also a free app. I don't think I paid for it. And that's how I edit it with like, so my last Instagram picture had like sparkles on it. That's how I edited those onto there. Or you could have like a VHS sort of effect, so like a timestamp and like cool shit like that. It kind of just depends on the picture and the vibe. But I normally always just play around with each kind of slider and like the settings, just to see how pictures will come out. And then whichever one I feel like looks the most aesthetically pleasing, that's my picture, and I upload it. That's it. That's all the questions I've got. Obviously, I did have a couple of, had a couple more, I can't speak. I did have a few more questions, but I just picked the ones that I kind of like the sound of the most. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It's different. I've never done a Q&A before. I really actually enjoyed it though, because I could literally sit and talk for ages. So I don't mind. So give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and give me a thumbs up if you think I should do another one in the future. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. And yeah, I hope you're having a lovely day, a lovely evening. Hope you're enjoying whatever it is you're doing at this moment in time. And I will see you in my next video. Ta-ta!